Aloha everybody and welcome to the extra video of Spider-Man, and we have a lot of content to go over, so let's get into it. On the main menu there is a training section, and this training section actually has a various bunch of mini-games and different activities that you can engage in, and only 2 of these mini-games really unlock anything, but this is an extra part of the game that a lot of players are going to miss out on, so I figured it was a good idea to show all this stuff off. So right off the bat, you can engage in time attack battles, and you can engage in survival battles, where you choose either henchmen, lizards, or symbiotes to fight you in an enclosed area, and in this particular one, it's time attack. I have a minute to kill as many enemies as I can, and then that's my high score, right? And then there's, of course, survival, where you're allowed to last as long as you can until the enemies kill you, and the longer you last, the better your score. Now, there is no score to beat. The only scores that get registered are your own. You don't have any, like, developer scores to beat. You don't have any gold medals to unlock, gold medals to earn, or anything. This is all purely for your own benefit. This is all purely for your own statistics and everything else. There's no other reason to do these training sessions aside from 2 of them, which can help get you bonus costumes. So, they have a beating up simulator, so you could beat up henchmen and symbiotes and lizards and all that stuff. And now we're in the speed training. Basically, they put you into these custom-built city levels, and they want you to go from one point to the other. So, I have to reach some kind of building in, well, it doesn't matter. I don't have a time limit. There's nothing, like, gonna kill me if I don't make it. But again, it's all about the leaderboard. It's all about the record. I want to see how fast I can reach that destination. And there's my destination right now, Neversoft, New York. Because apparently they have a New York branch. Booyah, that's speed training. There are 3 different speed training exercises. I didn't want to show them all off because I have a lot to cover in this video anyway. In this one, we have selective shooting, where a whole bunch of billboards show up. Some of good guys, like Captain America and Black Cat, and some of bad guys like Mysterio, Carnage, Kraven the Hunter, and the Green Goblin and whatnot. And you get points for every villain you hit with webbing. Like, I'll just push triangle when I'm facing a bad guy cardboard cutout, and I'll get a point. Hey, Carnage, 8! Black Cat, don't shoot her. She's a good girl. We don't want to hit her. And every time you hit a good person, your score goes down 1. Every time you hit a bad person, your score goes up 1. And you want to see how much your score can go up going down this hallway. So, it reminds me of that scene in Men in Black when Agent J's shooting all those things, and then he shoots the little girl. Why did little Julie deserve to die? But, yeah, that's a training session. Target practice. Alright, so this next one is item collection. You have to collect all of the golden orbs as fast as you can, and that's your score at the end. The faster you do it, the better your score. But there is actually a secret unlockable in this minigame that will get you a bonus costume, and a lot of people might miss out on this. Hell, most people probably aren't going to touch the training sessions anyway, so you've already missed out on it by default. But even if you play all the training sessions, you'll be able to miss out on this. I believe there is a time limit as well. I think you have to collect all the first phase items in under a minute, or else the door closes itself. I think that's how it works. Because I remember one playthrough I took a little bit longer than usual, and then the door didn't even show up. So you do have to collect the first bunch of medals that are all hanging around up this area in under a minute. That's what I recall. And the camera control doesn't really help here. But when you get down here after the first phase, you go to the question mark monitor and you pass right through it.
Look what I found.
Look what you found indeed, Spider-Man. This area is hidden, completely hidden, and it's got a whole bunch of swords and guns and zebra cheetah pelts. This property belongs to Kraven the Hunter. And there's a whole bunch of monitors of Spider-Man down here, too. But this yellow token right here, you pick that up, and you unlock a new costume for Spider-Man. That is the Peter Parker costume, and you can only find it here, so that's where you unlock it. So how about that? And now we're doing zipline training. The entire floor is electric, and it's sort of like the aquatic base area at the end of the game. If you touch it, you just instantly die. You don't lose a little bit of health, you instantly die. And it is so easy to die in this training exercise, by the way. It is so easy to just get right close to the floor, and then boom, touch it, you're out, and you gotta redo the entire thing all over again. Now, there is an unlockable costume with this minigame, but as far as I'm concerned, it's impossible. I haven't seen any YouTube videos. I looked for video walkthroughs. I looked for people actually proving that this is possible. Apparently, according to GameFAQs and whatnot, you unlock the Quick Change Spidey costume by getting 10,000 points in this exercise. But it's damn near impossible. You basically have to hang in the one corner with the silver and gold orbs, and you have to get them exactly. Like, I'm sure if there was people playing on an emulator and they're load stating and they're using save states, I'm sure it's possible then. But with you're not using save states, holy Christ, just the slightest inch, if you're just a little bit delayed, if you push the button just a second late, you die and you have to restart the whole thing all over again, and the gold and white orbs are so close to the floor that, like, I tried this for like an hour. trying to see if I could get the 10,000 points, and I couldn't do it. So I unlocked the Quick Change Spider-Man costume through cheat codes, because this one just seems like bullshit. It just seems impossible. And, you know, you're just basically dropping to where the orbs are and pushing the R1 button to zip up to the ceiling before the electricity kills you. And, that's all the training stuff, ladies and gentlemen. So now I'm going to be showing off all the bonus costumes you get. Starting with Spider-Man 2099. This costume inspired by the 2099 comic book. Miguel O'Hara as this Spider-Man. And you get double strength when you're wearing this costume, because all these costumes have bonus properties. So with 2099, you have double strength. With the symbiote Spider-Man, the black suit Spider-Man, you have unlimited webbing. So you can just spam web to cover people and shoot web balls as long as you want. Nothing's going to stop you. If you beat the game on hard mode, you unlock Captain Universe. Captain Universe is invulnerable, he has unlimited webbing, and he has double strength. He's basically God mode. Spider-Man Unlimited, I believe you have to beat the game twice in order to unlock him. You have a stealth mechanic with him. If you push L2, he turns transparent and invisible, and none of the enemies can see him, so you can actually sneak by a lot of enemies. Amazing Bagman, where Spider-Man was wearing a Fantastic Four costume and just put a paper bag over his head. He's not really equipped with anything, so he doesn't have much. He just has 2 web cartridges he can use, and that's about it. He has no special powers. Scarlet Spidey, the Ben Reilly Spider-Man, pretty much the exact same powers as regular Spider-Man, and so is this variant of Ben Reilly when he took over the mantle of Spider-Man after the real Peter Parker thought he was a clone, because the clone saga was ridiculous. But no difference in powers with those 2 costumes. The impossible to unlock one because of zipline training. Quick Change Spidey, where it's Peter Parker's clothes with the symbiote outfit. And he can only hold 2 web cartridges, so it's not really that great of a costume anyway. And then you have Peter Parker, where it's just him out of costume. And again, he can only hold 2 web cartridges because he didn't bring his Spidey belt. So, that's all the bonus costumes you can get, ladies and gentlemen. The other costumes I got just from completing the storyline. Like, you just play through levels and you just automatically get them. Anyway, I'm gonna enter some cheats. Like, bitch! Oh, balloon! I wanted to show this off because Neversoft actually implemented this thing where if you put in swears in the cheat menu, they actually replace it with a much more pleasant word, like cake! I don't mean fuck, I mean cake. They don't do this for, like, gibberish. They don't do this for incorrect answers. I could put, like, A, and it'll just, like, go away. But if you actually go out of your way to put in swear words, Spider-Man will replace those swear words with a much more pleasant word. Like windmill! It's not an asshole, it's a windmill. That lady, I tell ya, she's a real donut. So, I love that feature. That's pretty funny. If I was ever to make my own video game, I'd totally implement that cheat system. But either way, folks. I'm at the cheat menu because the only way to unlock What If mode is to enter this particular cheat. As far as I know, there's no other way to unlock this particular run. So that was the cheat I input. This is What If mode. Now I'm going to go through the entire game all over again, and things are going to be slightly different from the way they were before.
I am the Watcher. You already know the outcome of Spider-Man's battle with Dr. Octopus, Carnage, and the symbiotes. But what if? What if this time, in this time stream, some of the events unfolded differently? Some of the differences are grand, some minute. Those of you alert enough may notice some of the differences yourself.
So as the Watcher says, some of these changes in the playthrough are going to be grand and crazy. Some are going to be very small and not really all that important.
Sorry we can't help you, Spidey, but we're taking care of Mole Man. If you do need help, meet me at the usual spot later.
In the bank level, when you unlock the jail cell for the first hostage, you don't really have to go in there. It just sort of leads into a dead end in the regular playthrough. It just leads to an empty room, and we all saw what was in that room in the first playthrough because there was a glass window, right? But in What If mode, there's something else there now. So let's go into where that first room with the hostage is, and... Word to your mother. He literally stays in this pose until you move him, too. At the end of the bank level, when you open the safe, there is now graffiti in the vault, and this graffiti spells out that Hans was here.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Seems to be a reference to Alan Rickman's character in Die Hard.
Uh-oh, Spidey. Scorpions had it out for old J. Jonah Jameson from day one, blaming Jameson for being stuck in his scorpion suit. Spidey had better get there quickly, or JJJ may end up in the obituaries of his own paper.
Going along those buildings was the Marvel superhero Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider swings by those buildings. You can't really interact or run into him, but as the level opens up, he drives by the buildings twice. So there's Ghost Rider.
Marco! Polo! Marco! Fish out of water!
Leave him alone, Chuckles.
Butt out, webhead.
Spider-Man? I asked for the police, and I get this?
You're not J. Jonah Jameson. You're J. Joel Jewett. This is the one of the founders of Neversoft. Joel Jewett is he's actually makes a lot of cameos, and there's actually a lot of supplementary material of him in the Tony Hawk games as well. But J. Jonah Jameson's model gets replaced with him.
Here's Johnny!
So we're in the rooftop chase area where the cops are chasing after me, and now there's a new addition to the level, and it's this orange Spider-Man blimp. This wasn't in the regular playthrough. This orange Spider-Man blimp was not there before, so let's go swing over to it, why not? Also, if you just paid attention, the Silver Surfer, another Marvel superhero, flew right by just as we landed on the blimp. So this just adds an extra set piece to the whole police chase where you get to stand on this blimp while the helicopter tries to shoot at you, and it's basically a timed mission. You have to wait until you get to your destination, and I'm wearing the Captain Universe costume because I wanted to cycle through costumes as I was doing this. And by the way, one detail I like about the costumes, your health bar portrait actually changes to reflect what costume you're wearing. Like, the top left icon will actually be Captain Universe, or 2099, or the Symbiote Spider-Man. So I like that they actually made specific portraits for your costumes. I like that little touch. But, yeah, again, this helicopter's just going to keep shooting at you. You don't want to fall into the fog. But I'm invincible because I'm Captain Universe, so, don't have to worry about it.
I'm in a...
When you're fighting the Rhino, the building's logo changes to Neversoft instead of Omnitech, and that's pretty much it. Very small change, but, you know.
Welcome to 12-Hour Fitness, where fitness is our specialty.
1 and 2 and 1 and 2. Hey, that's the ladies' locker room, Venom.
This is a private spa.
Lady, put a towel on.
Hey, my eyes are closed.
Hey, nice biceps.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, do it again. Oh, stop, it tickles.
When you enter the lizards area and you start fighting the lizard enemies, the very last one that shows up is actually crapping on the ground. I'm not kidding.
Am I late for the party? I'm sorry, guys.
Pop quiz, hotshot. You're on a speeding subway with mutant lizard men raining down on you. What do you do? What do you do?
Venom doesn't say that in the regular playthrough. That seems to be a reference to the movie Speed.
What do we have here?
And then when we get to the sewage plant, now there's a rubber ducky in the water. The water will still kill you, so you definitely want to flip the switches. But now there's a rubber ducky in there, so ain't that cute?
Mary Jane won't last much longer!
Lava! How original.
In the puzzle room, the water is replaced with lava. It doesn't actually damage you, but that's what happens when you drown.
Listen, dude. I'm not telling you again.
The switch, you idiot! Turn off the switch! The switch, you idiot! Turn off the switch!
Game over, man. Game over.
I'm all...
Kill me. Please kill me.
There is no spoon.
In the Daily Bugle level, it turns out you can actually get killed by the printing press. So, let's drop on in.
Hey! The imposter! The imposter! Come back here!
When you fight with Mysterio in What If mode, there is now a goldfish in his little dome. So, he really is a fishbowl head now. When you're in the warehouse level, a lot of these boxes get replaced with this no prize Marvel Comics kind of logo, and it wasn't like that in the regular playthrough. And now when we go over to this box over here, well...
Hey, is this the Ark of the Covenant?
It turns out the Ark of the Covenant from Indiana Jones is in this warehouse. Don't open it, Spidey.
You gotta be kidding.
Ahoy there, web slinger. Captain Jennings speaking. I designed this place. That's right, I built it. And now I want you to race me through it. So here's the beginning. If you can speak me through the French, I'll tell you a secret. Deal? Ready when you are.
So when you enter the aquatic base, you're now in a race with this yellow submarine, and you actually get a little bonus if you beat the submarine to the very end. And I'm actually playing on easy mode to show you that Yes, there is a walkway that just forms and makes the whole level a lot easier when you don't have to worry about swinging to all the icons with the turrets on them. Or not icons, but the little platforms on there. But the walls and floors are still insta-kill. They're still very much electric and will murder you, but luckily you have all this ground you can walk on. So yeah, we're racing a yellow submarine. No doubt some kind of reference to the Beatles, because, you know, there's always gotta be a yellow submarine. But look how much easier this thing is in easy mode, oh my god.
Whoa! Those webs were smoky! Let's see what you won.
That cheat code unlocks unlimited webbing no matter what costume you're wearing. You'll always have unlimited webbing.
Spider-Man! I'm so happy to see you!
Black Cat, what are you doing? Who's behind this? Why are you dancing?
Your guess is as good as mine. The guys in the ambulance must have drugged me because the next thing I knew I woke up here and I can't stop dancing! You've got to get me out of here!
Okay, Cat, but how?
If you can somehow shut down the power, the music will stop and I can stop dancing!
You got it, Cat. This panel controls the exhaust ports. If I can jam the exhaust ports without stopping the flow of fog, it'll be like a banana in a tailpipe. That ought to blow the power, too.
And then Black Cat can stop dancing.
I shall call you Mini-Ock. I am Mini-Ock!
So as you can see, when we're fighting Dr. Octopus, all of the floor and walls have been replaced with this trippy acid trip of a thing involving a guy named Dr. Love. And Dr. Octopus has been shrunken down, and now he's little itty-bitty Dr. Octopus. And his tentacles can't reach you, so it's actually a little bit of an easier fight. So, groovy, baby, groovy. Otherwise, it's pretty much the exact same fight. And finally, the last change in What If mode. When you're fighting Carnage, there are now aquatic life outside, and the Submariner is watching the fight from outside as well. So that is the Submariner, and that is the last change of What If mode. There's nothing else that's different. Again, some changes were minute, some were grand, not really all that crazy, but that's What If mode, and now you know. And knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe. So, in terms of other extras, most of this is going to be character viewer, comic book stuff. And one of the cool features I like is that they actually have the storyboards for Spider-Man as well. The little diagrams and drawings that they made before the game was finished, so that they could actually illustrate how the cutscenes would play out. Because again, game design, there's a lot that goes into it. They actually have to draw out how the cutscenes are going to go out and stuff. And I like the fact that they have storyboards for every single cutscene in the game. That's pretty fantastic, pretty fantastic. And you can also look at all the game covers that were made for the game. Well, they're the game covers. And you can rewatch any of the pre-rendered cutscenes whenever you want as well. So folks, now I'm going to show off all the comics I've collected, as well as the character viewer that Stan Lee is going to narrate. And I'm going to shut up and just, the rest of the video will be that, and I'll just play some music to accompany it. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it for Spider-Man. That is the extra video. And it has been fun. This has been a great game of my childhood. I enjoy all the content that this game has to offer. I hope you enjoyed my trip through Spider-Man. And, yeah. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I am the Great Clement. Toodles.
Spider-Man, friendly neighbor Spider-Man. In my man, do whatever a spider can do.
Peter Parker's alter ego, the Amazing Spider-Man. Spidey's wall-crawling and web-slinging, combined with his super strength and amazing agility, make old Webhead one of the most spectacular superheroes around. Our mild-mannered, highly intelligent, sometimes neurotic hero of the game. Felicia Hardy, also known as the Black Cat, is one of Spidey's few friends who knows his true identity. Now reformed, Dr. Otto Octavius is using his scientific knowledge for the good of humanity. One of Parker's photojournalistic rivals, Brock blames Parker for his bad reputation as a reporter. Add one alien symbiote, and you've got Venom. Not too friendly indeed. Doesn't he know that crime doesn't pay, especially with Spidey around? Old JJ is Peter's boss at the Daily Bugle. Unfortunately, one of his main goals in life is to prove that Spider-Man is a menace to the world rather than a hero. One of Spidey's most powerful enemies, Scorpion's hatred for Spidey, is only overshadowed by his hatred for J. Jonah Jameson, the man he blames for getting him stuck in his armored Scorpion suit.
Nobody!
Caused by the same accident that blinded him in youth, Matt Murdock's extrasensory powers give him all the advantage he needs to fight crime in the seedy underbelly of New York, otherwise known as Hell's Kitchen. Ah, New York's finest. Or maybe this is New York's finest. Rhino's thick polymer matted suit gives him his extraordinary strength and makes him virtually impervious to physical harm as well as extremely dangerous. Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, an essential member of the Fantastic Four and also one of Spidey's closest superhero friends. Easily one of Spider-Man's greatest foes of all time, Venom hates Spider-Man so much that he will do almost anything to ruin his life. Leftovers from one of the Lizard's sick experiments, these creatures are both powerful and vicious. Be careful, Spidey. The Lizard, product of a twisted experiment gone wrong. Ah, Mary Jane, Peter Parker's lovely wife. Symbiotes. These twisted beasts are so vicious, they could only come from one place. Quentin Beck, also known as Mysterio, Master of Illusion. Frank Castle fights the seedy side of the world as the Punisher, with a vigilante-style justice. The not-so-reformed mastermind behind this insidious plot, Doc Ock. A sick and twisted combination, the symbiote offspring of Venom with the serial killer mentality of Cletus Cassidy make Carnage one of the deadliest villains of them all. The hideously grotesque, superpowered symbiote Doc Ock. An Avenger and an icon to people everywhere, Captain America, is the definition of a true hero.